really just it was driving me crazy in this episode, y'all, is the fact that Terry talks so much, but I'm just like, I know he is over there stinking. That's exactly what Charles get. He couldn't even get it up, Melon, but I don't know how Mo do it because I don't know. I'd probably be sick to my stomach, y'all. Like I just felt like I just could reach through that TV and just grab her. And then she's gonna hug her. And when she hugged her, like y'all, I swear I just felt like myself just I just wanted to shake her. Like I was like, oh yeah. What's up, y'all? It's your girl EJ, and welcome back to my channel. Now, today we're gonna be talking about BMF season 2, episode 8. Now, y'all, I don't even have any notes prepared. I'm trying something a little bit different. Just gonna talk about the show. So this isn't gonna be going in any type of order or anything like that. We're just gonna be talking about some of the biggest moments on BMF. So on this particular episode, some of the biggest things that stood out for me were, of course, Markeisha and Terry, because they were just doing the most on this episode. Terry was acting so thirsty, y'all, that I just couldn't get down with him on this episode. Like, Terry is just doing too much for me. For one thing, like, he literally acts like he ain't never had none before, but maybe because he's 17 years old, maybe this grown woman is doing things to him that he just ain't never had done to him before. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's like Terry has lost his damn mind, y'all. Like, he just can't think straight. Like, this girl keeps saying to him, or this woman rather, keeps saying to him, like, you're a kid. I mean, she calls him when Boom has beat her behind, and then she goes off on him and wants her to take him. She wants her to take him home. Sorry, she wants him to take her home so that she can go see Boom at the hospital, saying that that's her family because she has a kid with him. But then at the same time, once she finds out that he's basically elevated himself into a situation where he is now the supplier, now all of a sudden she wants to be a part of his life. I mean, she out here cheating on her husband. And I just don't get it. Like, you already know that he is destructive in nature, meaning that he always ready for a fight. Like, I just don't understand where this character is coming from at all. Yeah, I don't like her and I don't trust her at all, not one bit. And I think Terry is completely off his rocker for trusting her. I'm with Meech on this one because he doesn't trust her at all. He thinks that there is something off with her, and I feel the same exact way. I really feel like she's going to be the reasoning why these two actually end up splitting at some point. Like, she's going to be the thing that comes between them, because we saw in the episode where she actually gets him to cut his tail off, and we know that this was something that he and his brother had. And when Meech sees it, he's just like, look, I can't believe you are that pee whooped. But apparently he is. And another thing that really just was driving me crazy in this episode, y'all, is the fact that Terry talks so much. Like, why does Terry feel the need to announce everything? Like, he goes into the club, he sees them having, the little girls' night or whatever, or he asks if they're having a girls' night, and she tells him that Boom is there. Now, instead of him going to find Boom and give him the money back and talk to him and let him know, like, hey, we the supplier now, you probably gonna have to get your stuff from us, he instead tells Markeisha. Now, you have these other two women that are sitting right there at the table, and I'm like, you don't even know them, and you're just candidly talking about having a new Colombian connect and just giving her all of this information. I'm just like, dude, you are asking to be caught. Somebody should have taught him that there is a time and a place for everything, a time to talk and a time not to talk. And clearly, this is not the time to talk. He just be telling Markeisha way too much. And I've been saying this from the beginning. Why does he tell her so much? I just don't get it, y'all. So anyway, another main thing that happened, I guess we can go ahead and keep going with the Markeisha and Terry thing, because let's go ahead and get them all the way out the way. So after he, has this conversation with her, all of a sudden now she wants to be back in his good graces again. All of a sudden now, she's calling him babe. All of a sudden now she wants to take him out to dinner, and she takes him in the bathroom and she does her thing with him and has her way with him. And I'm just like, oh my God, they just doing too much for me. And then, he's taking her shopping. What are you doing? And why are y'all out here in broad daylight? And how come nobody ever tells Boom about this? Like, how come Boom doesn't ever get the memo that his wife is out here just doing the most? Because this is not like it's like somewhere big, like, I'm sure that people have to see them. Like, I am very positive that someone has to see them. Yeah, I feel like I done went on a whole rant about this whole Markeisha and Terry thing because it's so crazy. Your girl Lawanda even went to the point where she wanted to go whoop Terry's behind. At least I think that's who behind she wanted to whoop. She got that skate and she went over there and it felt like she was about to bust somebody upside the head, but Meech caught her before she got over there, and he's just like, look, Terry made his bed, that's he's the one that's crazy. And he tells her, look, you've been A1 since day one, and I got you. I got my nephew, I got you, and I got this new baby. So, it is what it is. Lawanda tries to calm down or whatever, but we are going to see later where she does end up at the police station. And in my opinion, I think she was going to say something, but then she kept hearing what Meech was saying to her, A1 since day one. And then she decides to change her mind and she walks out and she basically tells them off. And in that moment, that's going to shift us into my next topic of conversation, which is Detective Jen and Detective Brian, child. Oh my goodness. What were these two doing? Like, Detective Jen was just like, look, I am not going to strike out again. So she was like, you remember what I told you about taking care of something, handling something? Let's go. And I was like, okay, Detective Jen, I see you being all forward. And Detective Brian, shit, what he gonna say besides just go do it? I mean, he ain't got no choice. So we all know that they've been building up to this. So it finally happens. They do what they do. I don't know if this is going to be an ongoing thing with them. I don't know if it's a one-time thing. Who really cares? Because Detective Brian been on my nerves for the longest. But since we're talking about Detective Brian, let's go ahead and talk about him and B Mickey and this whole situation, because we are going to see at the end of the episode that B Mickey is going to be going toward Detective Brian's house. Now, Meech is going to get a phone call, and I guess somebody called him and told him, hey, we found B Mickey. And so Meech gets there, he stops him, and then he finally has to tell Meech what it was that he had on him. And so he's tells him, like, look, did you ever do any paperwork, any CI paperwork? He's like, nah, which means that he never put that gun into evidence, so that means that he probably has the gun somewhere. So of course, B Mickey is going to try to go in and get the gun, but he doesn't account for the fact that his son is home. He has to try to restrain Kevin and put him in a closet, but this doesn't give him a lot of time because, Detective Brian just finished putting the old smack down on Jen, and he's walking in the house, and B Mickey had just found the safe, but the problem is that the safe is bolted down. It can't be moved. So he wasn't able to get the gun. And when Brian gets into the home, he's going to find, that it's ransacked and that his son was in the closet. And really, all this is going to do, in my opinion, is probably fuel the fire even more, because the first person that he's probably going to think about is going to be B Mickey. So, there's that. Now, of course, he thinks that he's probably still in the trunk, more than likely, but unless he went to check on him. But we all know that he's actually lying about that, because he actually tells his partner that he hadn't talked to B Mickey when, he actually had him in the trunk, and he absolutely had talked to him. So we all know that there's probably going to be some issues that come up with these guys anyway, because Detective Brian has a problem telling the truth. So, there's that. So regardless of the fact, B Mickey doesn't get the gun, he and Meech have a conversation, and Meech is so forgiving, y'all, because I'm just keeping it real. I probably wouldn't have forgave B Mickey. I mean, that's just my opinion. Like, I get that they've been best friends for, since the second grade or whatever. But I felt like B Mickey crossed the line. I felt like he did way too much. I felt like he could have talked to him the same way that he told him about this situation after the fact about the gun. He and Meech could have figured out a way to try to get this gun back. They could have figured it all out, and all he had to do was just talk to him. And so I still ain't got no love for him. I ain't ready to forgive him none of that. But maybe later, maybe if he does something to redeem himself, maybe so. But I'm with Terry on this one. I don't trust him. I don't like him. whatever the case is. So, but we all know that Meech has this thing for him. So, he's going to ride for him. He's going to try to help him out. And that's pretty much what he tells him. So, anyway, speaking of Meech, let's talk about Meech and Mo because we all know that Meech and Mo decided that they're going to try to get at Lamar. Meech really didn't want to go with the plan, but Mo decided, like, hey, I got to do this because, she don't want to be away from her kids. So now she wants to try to get at Lamar. Now, she decided that she's going to use the thought process, the idea that, Lamar has this thing for her and he wants to have this family. Now, she's told him that Zoe is indeed his child. Now, I don't know if that's true. I don't know. I don't know if it's just something she's saying or if Zoe really is his. I mean, that could be the case. Nevertheless, he came over, he bought old Blackie over, put Blackie on the mantle, y'all. Now, Lamar done went and got Blackie cremated and everything. Now, I don't know when he had time to go get the dog from the church because the last time we saw the dog was sitting inside the church on the floor. I don't know. But that's neither here nor there. Somehow, some way, he got the dog back and cremated the dog, brought it over there, so that they could all be together. When Zoe gets home, everybody will be there. So Mo tells him, like, hey, let's, for old time's sake, do what we used to do. So she pulls out that white girl and, it is what it is. And they do what they do as far as drugs, y'all. They don't do that. I don't think they're even there yet. I don't even know if he can do it. I would like to mention though, they don't really talk about this gut bag that much, but I'm just like, I know he is over there stinking. He have to be, unless he somehow figured out a way to keep that thing from smelling. But I don't know how Mo do it because I don't know. I'd probably be sick to my stomach. So anyway, they're talking, and it feels like Mo is really reminiscing with him. Like, I don't know if it's the drugs, y'all, or what, but it feels like Mo is really, really into what he's saying, specifically when she talks about how special he made her feel. Now, they somehow end up talking about going to take a bath or something like that. And I guess this is the part where Mo is going to try to kill him. Now, she pulls the gun out to go in to kill him, but she just can't do it, for whatever reason. And I don't know how this is going to work out. And it really feels like your girl Mo is probably not going to make it, y'all. Like, I really don't think that she's going to live. If she didn't take this opportunity to kill him then, she probably not going to get the opportunity because we all know that Lamar is not dumb. Lamar is street smart and he probably can see through this, even as much as he doesn't want to see through it, as much as he wants Mo to be on the up and up, as much as he wants this relationship to happen. I just don't think Lamar is that stupid enough to think that, this is what's really happening. I think at some point he's going to figure it out and that is going to seal Mo's fate. I mean, I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking right now. But then again, you never know what could happen. Maybe Meech will be there to save the day. Who knows? But I just don't think that we're going to continue to see Lamar in the show. I do think that Lamar is going to end up dead at some point, but I think that he's going to take Mo out before, that happens. So I don't know. Let me know what y'all think about that whole situation. If you think Lamar is going to die, go ahead and, let me know how you think he's going to die, when you think he's going to die. If you think that Mo is going to make it, if she's going to actually go through with killing him, then let me know what y'all think about that as well. Moving on past Lamar, past Mo and all they craziness, let's talk a little bit about, this whole situation with Charles and Mabel, because Charles has just been doing the most for the last few weeks, y'all. Like, Charles and got real comfortable with cheating at this point. Now, there's going to be this part where Mabel is going to come over. I mean, she going to walk in the door all comfortable, y'all. Like, I just feel like I just could reach through that TV and just grab her because she walks in the door. It's like I came to borrow a skillet from Lucille. I'm like, girl, you sleeping with her husband and you just gonna waltz up in here, borrow a skillet. Like, the disrespect is real when it comes to, oh, Mabel, like, come on now. And then her and Charles were just sitting up there lollygagging. She's talking about how wet and all this stuff. Can I say that on YouTube? I don't know, y'all. But she was talking about all of that stuff. And I'm just like, really? Like, is somebody gonna walk in? Who's gonna walk in? And I really thought that Lucille was about to walk in or at least hear it, and then they was about to go off, and then these two were gonna go for it. Like I thought they were going to go to blows, but that's not what happened at all, y'all. So when Lucille actually comes down the stairs, Charles is handing Mabel the skillet, and then she's going to hug her. And when she hugged her, like, y'all, I swear, I just felt like myself I just wanted to shake her. Like, I was like, oh, you just need a good old fashioned shaking because you doing the most. Like, seriously. Like, you just gonna, hug this woman while you up here screwing her husband, and then she asks you about tea, and y'all just gonna sit up here and drink tea. Oh God, Mabel is the devil, y'all. Like, Mabel is the straight up devil. And trust me, not only Mabel, but Charles too. But in this moment, I really just wanted to shake Mabel. So anyway, y'all, we are gonna see that these two are going to end up at a hotel at the Easy Rest, right? Now, when they get to the hotel, they all in the bed and stuff, and Charles trying to hit it from the side and everything, but he can't get it up. And that's what he get. That's exactly what Charles get. He couldn't even get it up. He was like, well, maybe you need to put another quarter in there. No, Charles, maybe she don't need to put another quarter in there. Maybe you need to not put what you've been putting in her in there. Maybe that's what needs to happen. But I digress, y'all. We got to move past this because Mabel is then going to do something that I don't think we saw coming. Mabel is like, look, it's not that. You're not here with me, and then Mabel starts to feel this guilt about actually sleeping with Charles. And she goes on to tell him the story about how she knows what that feels like, because her and her husband used to be swingers, as if we didn't see that coming, from that whole party thing. We knew they was into something. But anyway, she says that when she had a threesome, he basically started seeing the other woman. And I was like, I guess that say a lot about Mabel, huh? Because apparently he was more into what that other woman was putting down than what you was putting down. I'm just saying, right now I ain't got no love for Mabel, so I'm just gonna talk shit about her. I'm just keeping it real. But anyway, y'all, and Charles is sitting up there listening to the story, and pretty much Mabel is like, look, Lucille is my friend. We borrow stuff from each other all the time. I'm like, girl, she been your friend. If that was the case, quote unquote friend, like, she been that. Like, you just now want to talk about she's my friend. She's my friend. God, I could have just threw up right then, y'all. Like, she was doing too much for me. And then she pretty much just breaks up with Charles. And let me tell you, when I say I felt no emotion, no nothing for Charles and how stupid he was sitting up there looking in that bed when he had that old guilty ass look on his face, I was like, that's what you get. But then what Charles would do next would just be like, really, Charles? So let's move on to the skating ring, y'all. Back to the skating ring. Now, Charles is going to make himself to the skating ring, right? Meech and his mom are having this cute moment because he got his mom this cute outfit and everything. And his mom actually took the outfit. And there's a whole little story behind that. But it was just a very cute moment. I just love seeing Lucille. She was looking fly, y'all. This whole black outfit was definitely given on her. And then Charles is going to swoop in out of nowhere, and then he's going to, dance with her, and they're just going to look all cute, and they're just having like a moment, right? Yeah, they're having a moment. And then, everything is over. Lucille goes to get her purse, and she gets her husband's jacket out of the little locker thing, and then a receipt falls out, a whole receipt. And on the receipt is like the Easy Rest Motel. And okay, when I tell you that Lucille dropped her entire religion, y'all, I mean, she dropped her whole religion. She just dropped it down. Now she gonna pick it back up, but for right now, she just gonna drop it. So she dropped it. And she goes in to give Charles the most old school cursing out that you can think of. She's just like, I can't even say the words that she said, but let's just say that when somebody pull out the MF word, that's that old school Christian cursing out, and that's exactly what Charles got, and that's exactly what he deserved. What would have only made this better is if Mabel had been there somewhere and Lucille. I guess that don't even make sense because she ain't even gonna know, who it is just yet. But we know that she gonna try to figure it out though, the way that she talks to him. And when she tells Charles, like, don't talk to her son, don't touch her son. Woo! Yeah, that was one for the record books right there. I was like, okay, Lucille, like, I'm not even mad at you. And when Charles tries to lie his way out of this, talking about, he picked up another job and maybe he picked up the receipt, Lucille is like, look, I am not buying what you putting out. Like, that is not what this is. Like, Charles, you need to learn to lie. First of all, who the heck gets a receipt for the Easy Rest Motel? Like, who does that? Like, dude, you should have been throwing that receipt away. You should have burned the receipt. Like, what you gonna do? Keep it for your taxes or something? Like, what you trying to do? Write this hotel? I was like, Charles, come on now. You should know better. But that's what happened when you're not used to cheating, I guess, when you just out here doing something. You should have went to cheating 101 because that wasn't it. But anyway, y'all, let's just move on from that because y'all know I got no love for Charles at all. And I could go off on him all day long. For real, for real. Now, when Meech walks over and kind of stands by his dad, it almost looks like he's trying to comfort him a little bit because daddy done got caught up, done got caught. Whew, done got caught. So anyway, y'all, let's talk a little bit about a few other things that happened in this episode. Now, there would be a moment where Detective Brian and Detective Jen would end up pulling Calix over. Now, if you don't remember, he is the dude that she saved from the burning building. So they would pull him over. Now, of course, he does work for Meech, and there was some drugs out there, but of course, they're not going to know this. So it feels like that he's going to be on the radar. Not only that, because they actually were following Hoop. Now, Hoop is going to be a whole nother situation. I feel like there's a bigger story that's going to be going on with Hoop. I honestly don't feel like Hoop is A1 at all because from that moment when he walked up with that whole Dink situation, when he gave him those drugs, and we still don't know why the heck Hoop gave him those drugs because Terry didn't know anything about it. Like, there's that whole thing. And I don't know. I just feel like there's definitely something with him. And I don't know if he's going to stand 10 toes down when it all comes down to it. If they do somehow get him caught up, like, will he ride and not talk? I don't know, but something is going on with Hoop, y'all. If you think that something is going on with Hoop, drop it down in the comments and tell me what you think is actually going on with Hoop. So anyway, y'all, we are also going to see that they're going to hire some more drivers. I think it was really dope that they actually hired Saki's family. I can't think what her name is, Aunt something. I can't think of her name, y'all. I'm sorry. But I think it was pretty dope that they did that as well. Now, she is going to get caught up in a situation as well. Now, she's going to get caught up with Lamar because somehow Lamar actually knows that she had the money. Like, I think she had already dropped the drugs off and she was actually bringing the money back, and Lamar is basically going to take the car. So I just think that this is crazy that Lamar knows this, and that's why I feel like there is something going on. There is a mole in Meech's organization somewhere. I'm not saying that it's Hoop. I'm not saying that yet, but I feel like somebody is telling something. How in the world did Lamar know this? How did he get this information? That was just too crazy. And I really don't feel like Lamar is out here watching them like that. I feel like somebody's telling him something. So I guess we'll figure that out soon. We only got a couple of more episodes left. They are doing 10 episodes this go around instead of 8. So I guess we got to get some answers at some point. But anyway, y'all, so that happens. And let's see what else happened. I feel like those were some of the major things that happened. Oh, but no, I forgot about this. The whole thing with Bleak, and when Meech is trying to expand out, he tries to expand out. He tries to offer our boy, aka Opu, he tries to offer him, a hand. He's like, look, you gonna need to get down with this now. Like, I don't want you to be mad when you see that like your territory is kind of being taken over because we basically got that good stuff. We got this pure Colombian, we got a Colombian connect. We're getting these. Our product is going to be very pure, and he just ain't trying to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just like, no, like he don't want to be down with them. Yeah, so he is going to end up coming back when he sees that his people basically they was losing out because Meech's whole thing was is like he wants to make everybody a boss. He's not trying to hand feed you like how Pat was doing them. That's not the type of person that he wants to be. He wants everybody to win. And everybody doesn't get that because for the longest time, I guess, I never, sold drugs or anything like that. So I don't really know how this all worked. But it feels like the game said that there was a hierarchy to things and that everybody couldn't make money, that the person up here was the one who made the money and kind of hand fed everybody else. I mean, that's the way that I see it. And it seems like Meech tried to change that mold and wanted everybody to be their own person and be their own and make their own money, like everybody can eat, like not just this person. And it seemed like that was a better model because it feels like you would have less people arguing, less people trying to get to the top. Because if I'm making money and you making money, like what is there to really argue about? So I don't know, y'all, but that's how I see it. Like I said, I don't know the game, but it just feels like that's where they were going with this whole situation. But Meech does what he does. Like he's good at bringing people together. He's good at having people see the bigger picture. So I don't know. That's what I really enjoyed about this particular episode was seeing him kind of branch out and do his thing and really bring people in. I'm trying to see if there was anything else that went down that was major that went down. Do 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 do. I can't think of anything else that really went down, y'all. I think I pretty much hit all of the major stuff that happened on this particular episode. Anyway, y'all, let me know what y'all thought about this episode. Let me know what y'all think about the whole Markeisha and Terry thing. That Lucille is gonna find out that it was Mabel, and if she finds out that it's Mabel, what do y'all think she's going to do? I think Lucille is about to show out, y'all. Like, I ain't even gonna lie. But let me know what y'all think. Go ahead and get the conversation started down below, guys. Meanwhile, if you like this video, make sure to go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to your girl channel. Meanwhile, YouTube says that you just might like this video next, so go ahead and check it out. Until next time, guys. Peace. Keep it coming.